much longer. I do have a few more questions, and I want to change gears a little bit. What is the biggest lie you ever told each other?
Jesus. You came out of nowhere with this, Stephen. I didn't see that on your questions, man of God.
I told you.
Okay.
Honest, genuine.
I'm very honest. So I don't have any lies to tell him.
Okay.
You know, I've never had to lie.
Have you hid anything?
No,
Withheld anything?
no, because it comes out in arguments.
Okay.
It comes out in, it came and, well, we're doing, it's a good one. So it would come out in arguments. And I better not find out. Okay, all right. Then don't. So I just told you right then.
I would have to agree with her.
No, I don't agree with you. No.
Don't agree. I, as I'm sitting here just perusing these last 19 years, I can't think of a big lie that I've told or anything like that.
That's good.
I am a money saver. So, you know, she perhaps doesn't know where every dime
I
is.
know where every penny is.
Say that again.
I know where every penny is.
Wow. Well, I feel like I was sitting next to my mother-in-law. Baby, I know everything.
No,
I
I
know
honestly
where.
know where you.
Okay, praise God.
You might want to move it.
I mean, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, I can't think of anything. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we end up talking about it, and it's hard to walk around in some kind of mist or mysticism.
Mm-hmm.
Just be upfront about it.
Anything I didn't hid, thought I hid, I gave it to God. Because I really don't. I can't carry stuff really long. I have to let
Right.
it go some kind of way. And so anything I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. So, love in the Bible. Obviously, God so loved the world that he gave his
How
only.
you turn that and turn back? This car is
He
wobbling
says
and
We're gonna
switching
take a lot of
gears.
turns.
Switched.
He driving,
He driving a bus.
a stick.
Now this is a Greyhound. Shuttle bus.
He got them gear shifts.
So, God so loved the world that he gave his only. In other words, he gave what was his. What has love caused you to give to your spouse? That was yours, that you, because you know, dating, courting, getting married, you're used to being by yourself. You're used to doing things your way. But what has love, not because of an argument or not because of having to break out of being comfortable, but what has love caused you to give?
I think I can answer that, but I don't know if it would make sense. I have sacrificed a lot from my husband.
That's a good answer.
I have.
Tell us some things you sacrificed.
I literally sacrificed my life to make sure your ministry and who you are to be number one. I believe that, to make sure, although I disagree with what you were doing, I believe by me supporting and sacrificing my time and my effort and giving what I could, I think I did a sacrifice in that. You disagree?
I'm listening.
I think I have, and sacrifice my time and making sure you disagree. I know your face.
No. I think that giving. My mom has been married, I think, 35 years now to my dad, my stepdad, if you please. So one thing that my dad always made sure of is that the house was taken care of. Once he got on the straight and narrow in that respective. Mm-hmm. So I think that I'm gonna make sure that our house is always good.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. So, which is why I work and hustle like I do. I literally work a decent job that I could not have to do anything else, mm-hmm. and be financially okay. But I work a job, then I have an itinerant ministry. I've written books. I got a school, streams of income, developing an empire, if you please, a business stratagem, mm-hmm. that's going to be generationally wealthy for my kids and their kids as well. to make sure that we're living past now, and that's what I want to be.
Okay.
So I think that I've given of my treasure to her because I love her. For God so loved the world He gave. If it's something that she says she wants, if I think it makes sense, she gonna have it. Now, if I don't think it makes sense, then you're gonna have to buy it yourself. But then even still, we're given a level of grace that we get some it don't make sense gifts. I buy a new pair of tennis shoes, new pair of, in the words of my sneakers, in the words of my mama, sneakers every other month.
Every week.
And I might wear them one time.
Mm-hmm.
So we get foolish gifts, but I don't put that demand on her. You buy them. I buy what I've considered buffoonery. So she sacrificed her time. I sacrificed my money. I type out. Oh,
Yeah, you can give me some.
Wow. So 1 Corinthians chapter 13, from verse 1 all the way to verse 7. I love it because it talks about love in a raw way. So I'm just going to read verse 4 to 7. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wrong. Have you all ever kept records?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
my middle name is
Babe, keep track.
my name is RC Record.
Yeah.
Or RK Record Keeper.
Yeah, he gonna
Yeah.
keep a record.
Yeah, so we
he hold grudges.
Wait.
And this is why he has that ability to keep record, or what you done did, like his memory sometimes to me is like, I remember when you said this, you said that. He'll add his little spin to it, but he is definitely going to keep track in what you said and what you did and how you did it, when you did it, where we were. If he was standing on top of your head, he will recognize you was on top of your head and you remember all of that, details and all. So yeah,
when I forgive you though, when I forgive you, it's erased. It's almost as though it never happens. Like she'll have to remind me and say, you don't remember when they said X, Y, and Z? I'm like, honestly, I don't. Because after I forgive them, I put it out of my head. But if I have not forgiven you, I can remember verbatim what you said, how it made me feel, what was going on that day. And that's one of my downfalls. One of the negative points is that I unfortunately remember. I remember things she said. And if she does something, it will trigger that memory. Like, see, it's still that's still so, because her action is followed up. She followed up her words with an action. So I need to get to that agape place. I'm still striving to be like the Lord every day.
Wow.
I don't have that problem.
And then now, as my new career path being human resources, HR shenanigans, one of my jobs is to deal with facts, deal with what happened. I need to know what happened, when did it happen, how did they say it, what happened before they said that, so that I can put the story together to be able to make a decision, because I have a responsibility to protect the employer, to protect the employee, and to be a neutral voice. So my job now is to remember the record. Hold it. I remember you said, even when I'm in interviews or in meetings, wait a minute, you said, that's not what you just said. So there's a lot of difficulty in being an apostolic prophetic leader, of knowing and remembering how you made me feel, that, Jesus is the one that threw it into the sea of forgiveness. I didn't. I'm praying. Pray for me, please.
Wow. I think we all have our ways, and some of us can hold more grudges than others. But I want to ask this question. How important is it to be honest when your spouse has said or done something wrong in the moment?
Wow. I think in the moment, I think as we've grown, that we have to be very careful, because in the moment it can be dangerous. I think that having disagreements and arguments in the moment is important, so that they can feel your level of intensity, passivity, and passion. But I also think that we need to be very careful, because words are something you can't take back, and you can kill somebody with your words.
Right.
The Bible says thou shalt not kill, but I think many of us are guilty because we've used our words to commit homicide.
Wow.
So I think we have to choose when to argue, and know, especially me, that can have a quick temper. That a lot of times my shut off valve is, you know what, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Let's talk about it later. And you know, Stephan, that women do not like the I ain't got nothing to say, I'm done.
Yeah, shut down.
That upsets them more than you saying something. But it's protection for you and for me, because if I stay in this argument, you're provoking me to a place that perhaps I can't come back from. And now that I am no longer 22, I'm now 41. I have to be very guarded and calculated in what I say, because here it is. I'm married to a woman of God that is known around the world, if you please.
Right.
But she's married to a man that's known around the world. And I don't want it to be said that he up here preaching and all these folks shouting, but what he said. So I think that it's a 50-50. Sometimes you need to go ahead and have the discussion right now while we both out here in the middle. But sometimes you're so mad you're not listening. No way. You hollering, I'm hollering, ain't nobody listening. The end objective is still going this way, because we're not trying to argue to come to a resolution. We're arguing to be heard. We're arguing to win. And when I argue to win. I'm just telling you right now, if I know that you only got 1 foot or 3 toes missing off your foot, when we arguing in the thick of it, that's how come you only got 2 toes. And be like, what does that have to do? Because I'm arguing to hurt you. I'm arguing to win. I'm gonna talk about you, your mama, your brother, your sister. Because now when I get mad, I done shut down anyway. So now I'm just joning. I'm just, we going back and forth. And I think that's the same for both of us. Because it depends on the right day. You can have a bad day. You could be saying the right thing, but it's the bad day. You could be saying the right thing, it's the wrong time. Saying the right thing at the wrong time is just like saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. So we have to be careful of that.
So, co-pastor, how do you cover your spouse in that moment?
I don't.
Cover the spouse in what? In arguing?
After there's an argument, after there's been a situation?
I would take that back. There have been plenty of days, Sundays, we didn't fall, we didn't argue, and still had to come in and be. At that time, I was just Lady Mickles. I wasn't even a pastor, co-pastor then. I still had to come in and make it that all was well. Although we just literally had a fight, had cussed out each other, said this and that. And some days we didn't get to church till 1 o'clock, but I still had to come in. I still had to come to church as though like all is well, keep going, keep on. Although I want to be mad, I wanted to hit him so bad and tell everybody what he did to me. I had to cover him and yet still protect him, knowing that you in my mind, like, oh God.
You remember that one time that we got to church at like 1:30, and the former praise and worship leader, she had been singing congregational songs for 2 hours.
Really?
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. When we walked in, it's like,
I got the devil under my
Yeah,
feet.
I mean-
And she's singing that song, so as we coming in, and we ain't no devil under our feet right here.
right.
And she was singing that for a long time, and people was like, "Is everything okay? Everything's fine." But I covered him, I think, a lot.
That's her opinion.
No, you
Lady
mean that
Mickles
time-
is a mime dancer. She's a pantomime dancer, and she doesn't have to say anything. Her face says it all. Her body language says it. Even today, even when I say today, I'm speaking of right now. There'll be times that we have a disagreement. I have to tell her, get yourself together or leave. I'll like get your face together or leave, because it's said in your body, it's said in your posture.
But man, there's been times that you came to church and did the same thing. And
No, I'll just look forward.
no, you don't.
And
You know he is upset.
I'll
Pastor
be
Mickles
upset,
get
but-
up there and I will be somewhere. He will definitely preach about me and
Preach
say,
about you?
Yeah, you would definitely preach about us, and then it will be spilled over in the pulpit, and
It depends
I
on
will
how
just
level
look
it is.
forward.
Recently or in the past?
I mean, we can't talk about recent because this is a new day, new time.
We can talk about recent. It's still.
But I'm saying, like, even last year in 2022, you will definitely preach about it, or you will come against me, and I can look straight forward. And
That's if I feel like you're talking
if
about.
I'm sitting here, if I was sitting in the front of the church, nobody's paying attention, but I'm looking directly at him.
Don't sit there looking at me.
No, I can be clapping my
eyebrow.
hands. It's just not me just doing all that at the
No,
time.
it's her eyeballs,
Mickles-
her eyebrows up, and she.
No,
Sitting there, or she in her
but
phone.
nobody's looking at me. But she on your phone
No.
every time.
But I'm looking at the live. I'm interacting
But
with the
people
live all the
don't
time.
know that. People
But
don't
I'm
know
telling
that's your
you, but
phone
she's
got.
sitting. So in disengaged, she'll come in. She'll walk out the office and come in. People could tell because she ain't stopped. Hey, and
I
now she
don't
gonna
do
stop.
that
Now
because
she
I
got to
feel
stop
like
and
that
be.
you gotta talk to everybody. So I
Not
can't
that
do
you
it.
have to be Shirley Caesar. Hey, he coming in, but she'll come in with this wind. You could feel the new kids would call it the energy is off. She'll come in, her spirit is off, and it's like, why even come? You should stay at home and not come. So, it cover as far as details. You might not know details, but you know something is up. You know something is going on,
right.
and I feel like, so yeah. She's done a good job, but her Lady Mickles is a mime dancer. So if you ever want to know if something's bothering her, you can look at her face. And that's not 90, that's not 100% time, but 70% of the time you can look at her and tell there's
And
something
it
that's
might
got
not
under her
be
skin.
something is with anything. It could just be that it's a day with me or whatnot. But I've learned over the years that was during that time. But I honestly have covered him in so many things. So many things. We just got up a season and I was covering. I had to stand strong.
I learned.
See, he gonna sing over it.
Wow.
I just said I'm listening.
I'm definitely.
I'm accompanying you.
Okay.
Background music.
Yeah. But to talk over me.
I didn't talk over you one minute.
Yeah, you did, man.
I'm sorry.
So I have a few more before we go, and I want to make another turn. After all of these years,
It's a monster truck. Go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be that big. After all these years, 19 years of marriage, being with each other, loving on each other, traveling with each other, supporting,
and hating each other.
loving and hating, supporting. Do you think that you would be further with someone else?
Ooh.
I mean, you got in the RV. Would I be further with someone else?
It depends on who it is, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend on who it is. Let's just say hypothetically, they were someone that could be more of a support to whatever your vision is. So we know, co-pastor, you're creative, very creative. If there was someone that was more, that had the ability to understand more of that creative passion that you had, do you feel that you would be much further than where you are now?
Yeah, if I had the person that will, I don't know. I'm kind of up and down anyway when it comes down to my gifts and talents.
Okay.
So maybe not, because I'm just now learning me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I would be the one to have somebody to keep doing everything for me. And so I don't know if I would be, and not.
Okay.
If it's somebody from my past, absolutely not. I'll be stuck.
Okay.
If I didn't know a person, then that depends on if I have to know them.
What about you,
I
Apostle?
don't know. I again, it would have to depend on. I would have to have somebody in my mind to be like, oh yeah, if I would have married them, I would be further. Mm-hmm. I would say that if I could go back 19 years, we wouldn't have gotten married as quick. Because like I told you, I didn't really know her. She didn't really know me. Thought we did, but we didn't. I met her in some unhealed places. She met me in some places I hadn't grown up and matured in, that I hadn't put away childish mentalities and thoughts. So perhaps had we been mature, who's to say that we would have chosen each other and said, you know what, this might be best that we don't go this way. Because she's extremely creative. I'm extremely analytical, which is a good balance for us in some instances, because she's able to color what I see.
Right.
But a lot of times it's frustrating to her because I don't see light through the lenses of the opportunities. Because, you know, you bring me in a ramshack building, I'm like, absolutely not. You bring her in one, she'd be like, oh, this could be stage, and I'm going to put an office over here. Yeah. So she has that ability. So, you know, so yeah, I can't say. I always said if I got a divorce, I was going to marry me a big lady like Twinkie Clark that's going to sit on the organ and shed a good mouth.
Yeah, if I got a divorce, I won't want to do marriage again.
Well, if I got, I just note to the public, I would not marry some big lady that's big as Twinkie Clark. But I would definitely, if we got divorced, Lord forbid, but I would get married again. Not tomorrow, but I definitely will get married again. Because I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
With a straight face.
And I would be okay with him getting married again.
So if you all got a divorce, would
She-
one of you all leave the church?
She would
Oh,
have to.
I would definitely
She would
say
have to.
I'm staying.
She says this all the time that she stays. She had to get out
Listen,
of
I
it.
literally feel like if I don't move out of town, I really honestly believe that I will be a part of the ministry. I don't think I'm married I don't think I'm here. I'm here because of Pastor Mickles. But at the end of the day, this church have a lot to offer that a lot of churches don't.
Right.
And I just don't see myself going to start all over again and being under somebody's ministry and me starting Lord. I don't think I'm a senior pastor, but I just feel like Blow Your Trumpet is a good place to be outside of Marcus Mickles.
I think that she has a very spiritual mother now that's very involved in her life.
Yeah.
So she would move there. I mean, and that's considering all things stay the same. But I think it would be difficult for me to have to look at her to every week.
Right.
Divorce, find another church.
Right.
I think that, so yeah, because the talk would come, would she still be co-pastor?
No, I wouldn't.
Would she? She definitely wouldn't be co-pastor. Doesn't mean she wouldn't be an assistant pastor. But we have to look at the scope of how involved she is. So, I mean, and then I guess it depends too on the terms of divorce, because it could be a divorce and just say, you know what, we're kissing and saying goodbye. No love lost. We're not enemies. So, I mean, it just has to, all of that whole picture has to go in there.
And I would definitely love his wife.
But
definitely.
She said before.
I say that all the time, don't I? I would definitely love her.
There's pastors in the
Because
city
dealing with him, if he is the same Marcus Omari Mickles Sr., she got a lot on her hands.
Wow,
and so what I feel that though, for one, me and Mickles is really good friends. That's true. Like we are good friends. But for me to just get up and
This lady said she gonna stay in this church. I still stuck there.
I've always told
Stephen,
you that.
get her out of here, Doc.
I won't have to come here clowning. I'm not that person.
She's not finna sit over. No,
I don't have
no
to
seat.
sit there. I love.
There's a pastor in the city. He got remarried. The wife sat behind the wife. The ex-wife sat behind the wife every Sunday.
I would definitely hug her every Sunday.
I feel like that's salacious.
Oh, for real.
That's
I've
dumb.
always said that.
That's ridiculous.
That because we're moved on with understanding that we're friends and that we are better off as friends. I think that I should be able to come here and worship, love on everybody, yet still the same, and still leave and don't have nothing with you.
Then you got hell raising them saying you was a better wife than him. You know, I'm still
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Did you hear us say I'm still come love on the member? See, you was a better look at with it. Even took a step down.
Okay,
You was in charge.
If that would
I don't think that would look good.
Yeah.
I don't think that
if
would
that caused all that
Maybe he's
confusion,
old.
then I will. But we'll live, but leave. But other than that, I don't.
You
see
getting
it.
out of here.
Is it because you still want me?
Wow. What
Only
is
reason why
the baby mama drama just happened right there?
You would want me to leave is because you might still want me.
Oh, okay. If that's gonna make you feel better, I still want you. Now get out of here.
Okay. So last thing, what encouraging words, statement, sentence would you give to a couple that's in the courting phase, engaged phase, married phase, about to sign divorce papers phase, have in fact signed divorce papers? What encouraging words would you give them?
That's a loaded question. Ladies first.
I just honestly believe of where they are in life with each other. It's just different for everybody. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but I would tell them
You tell them what?
to know a person. I don't know what kind of encouraging words I can give.
Speak up, woman of God.
Oh, I wouldn't know. What would you say?
For
I
if
know
you're dating,
you have a mouthful of.
a mouthful.
Dating, courting, engaged,
If you're
married.
dating, courting, I would definitely say get to know your person, your spouse to be If you're dating, collect the data. Enjoy dating. Don't be in a rush. Don't allow sex to skew what you feel like God is giving you to do. Hey,
But
that
here,
wine.
Pastor, so we got people that's
Not you interrupted me.
I'm saying what I'm saying is you're doing good. What I am saying is to you, but if I
You're
do
doing good.
have sex, that because that's what happened to me. We had kept on having sex after sex, and then we rushed to get married.
Yeah.
So people feel
So
bad.
wait.
I felt bad about having sex.
I
And
got
I
a
s-
question. Should they wait?
If you can, I absolutely. The Bible speaks of waiting. And I stand with the Bible. It's right. And somebody's wrong. Fornication will send you to hell. But sex opens your lenses to another. It causes you to surpass or look past red flags. And God will be giving you red flags, and you won't look at it as an alert. You'll think it's Six Flags, a carnival. So sex causes you to feel differently because now your soul is involved. Your mind, will, emotions, intellect, creativity, all of that. Now you got a soul tie. It's already creating a soul tie because of time we spend together. But when you know somebody, like the Bible said, that there's a blood covenant release, there's another level of cutting off that's hard, a disconnection. And that's how come so many people get married wrong, because they start having sex and they became blind to the obvious. It's like, people that have, especially if it's good sex. I've seen women get hit upside the head with a rotary phone, be like, but I love him. And then you tell them and they'll still be back together because the sex is so off the chain. So I would say withstand, especially if you're saved, sanctified, definitely. We don't test drive cars over here. This is why we pray and say, God know what you need sexually to be saved and to remain saved. And we ain't dead either. You can see if you hug a man and y'all kiss and don't nothing move on him, something's wrong with that. If don't nothing happen with the woman, or areolas don't erect, there's something wrong with her. So I think that that's important. But while you're dating, date. Courting, court. Make them court you. Him and ma'am, court him. Sir, court her. You know, watch how they handle business. You need to see them in all four seasons of their life. Happy, sad, mad, broke, with money, how they respond when they get bad news, when somebody's sick, when they lost something, when they're absolutely upset. Push the limit. If you're married, know why you got married, that it's a God assignment. Marriage is spelled W-O-R-K anyway. It's a work. It's continual work. And if you're divorced, make sure God told you to get the divorce, not just based on because how you feel and it's just not going to work. Have you exhausted every opportunity through therapy, counseling? Have you talked to your pastor? Have you tried to make things better? Have you done something different? Because you'll hear people a lot of times say, I'm getting a divorce, but they've not done anything different. They've stayed the same. And that's the definition of insanity. So I would encourage anybody that's married, enjoy one another, spend time with one another. If you're courting and dating, find out about one another. Make sure this is the person you want to spend with for the rest of your life. I ask this question.
For the rest of your life.
I ask this question. Let's say you get married tomorrow and they're in a car accident and they no longer can walk and you have to push this person around in a wheelchair. Is this the person that you would want to have to commit your life to cleaning up, put in the tub, washing? Your husband is impotent, can't have sex with him, never again. Would you be okay with that?
That face.
I got it. I mean, yeah. These are things you need to think about. I love them. Or do you really? So you need to really evaluate that. And if you're married, make sure that you're in it for the long run. The good, bad, ugly and all. We had a woman of God last night talked about her thyroids caused her to retain weight. You marry somebody that's a size 4, size 6, then all of a sudden something happens and now she's a size 16. Can you deal with that? You marry somebody that's a size 16, now they're a size 4. Can you deal with that? Wow. Can you deal with a man that has no teeth, that got a big belly and they start off with a 6-pack? These are that I'm just serious. These are the things you have to really think about. And if you're in divorce, is it absolutely the end? God's giving you his approval that it's done. Has it been something that cannot be repaired? No sense in trying to save face because people in the church stay married because what other folks gonna say. I prescribe to something different when it comes to that, and I digress.
Okay, so I asked a lot of questions. I definitely enjoyed this interview. I pray that you all enjoyed this interview.
Yes.
I know I said that was my last question,
You lied in the church.
I didn't lie.
That's what they do.
I didn't lie. What would you want to say to each other?
What? I don't know what that is. Back in the day, me and my husband used to communicate with each other all the time. But I think he's saying something. I think he's saying, if they be the same Marcus Mickles, I would say he's saying more sex. Good.
I'm singing a song.
Because you said, what would you want to say to each other?
You want to say to each other? That to the future. That's what I would say to you.
You say what?
I would say to the future. And you love that and beyond. That there's great work for both of us to do. And there's not another woman that would be able to help me accomplish what I feel like I'm called to do. So I look forward to your continual sacrifice. That you say, I've given my time, I've been there. So I look forward to that. I look forward to greater times ahead of just being intentional, like I say, with time. And thank you for everything that you've done these 19 years. My beautiful kids, afforded me opportunities that I never would have had. Some of the best sex ever.
I knew he was going to say that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, to the future. That's what I would say to you.
That's good. That's good to know.
What in the granny is that's good to know?
I would definitely say the same thing to you because I know
Get your own words.
No,
Boo, tomatoes.
No, I will say do everything that God has anointed you to do. Continue to walk in that. But also be cognizant and also see, because sometimes you don't get what I'm saying, and sometimes I might not be able to explain, but I'm definitely here to support, and I'm definitely here to push you into what God has for you. And I want you to have nothing but the best, because honestly, He has a really, really good heart. But then sometimes because of some of His ways, some people, I don't want them taking advantage.
What do you mean my ways?
I don't want people taking advantage. So you can be very stubborn in what I say, babe. I think you need to be careful of this. I think you need to do that. But because you got so much to do for the kingdom of God, for your business, for other people, for your family, just be aware of what God is about to do and give God all you have. Don't be stagnant in this season. Go. Allow God to direct you in every part of your life, and don't be ashamed to step out in the deep and in the water as you have in the past. I just feel like this is your time, and you need to maximize your moment. Seize this moment with grace, with more faith. Be honest with yourself, and go talk to somebody if you really need help and guidance. To go, just go. Don't be afraid to let go and let God have His way. You hear His voice, and I know sometimes you wait on God, but I believe sometimes because you don't understand the support, you have backup in this season. And I want you to know that you have a backup. People not even in this house. There's a lot of people that's rooting on you on the outside as well. And I don't want you to be content of what people have done to you in the past. I want you to just go get it all, because you are one of those prophets. You're the it.
Trying to prophesy a little bit.
So just listening to y'all, would y'all have another child?
Oh no, absolutely
Man, I'm 41.
not. No,
Not now.
no. Oh no, I wouldn't dare have another baby at this point.
Baby sex is the best sex, though.
That is the best sex.
It's it is. You'll see. Thing that's shut up that big old time.
Oh, that did. Wait, let me tell y'all this. Every time we want to get divorced, for real, we got pregnant.
That's not true. Now.
Yes, it was.
In the past,
Mickles,
yeah. I'm talking about the
No,
past.
every time we was like, let's go get these papers. Here come a baby.
Baby, you act like we got 10 babies. We got Marcus and Elijah.
We was about to get really
killers.
We was done.
Elijah was unexpected, unplanned. It happened at we were at a pastor's retreat.
Yeah.
And the food was so good and the atmosphere was just right.
The food was good.
The food, it was prime rib.
I know what it was.
And that night, I knew that night you got pregnant. I said, you pregnant tonight. It was pregnancy stage.